This is Penn Sunday School.
I like that you don't even have to know what you're going to go for.
Yeah.
Godot asked me. You don't care.
I should have. I should have asked and I should have cared. But here we go.
Okay.
Brothers and sisters, welcome to Penn Sunday School. Filling in for Michael Godot is me, Matt Donnelly, which means this intro's gonna blow.
Well, Godot's do too.
That's true.
We've never gotten
This week, Penn has experienced life in different facets: work, family, casual life. And this podcast plans to explore at least two of those things. Here he is, preaching the love, Penn Jillette.
Oh, that was good. That was good. Not since James Brown, live at the Apollo, has there been an introduction like that. Mr. Please.
Please. All sizzle, no steak.
730 people have lost 34,207 pounds.
I met the lady who keeps track, Nichelle.
Nichelle.
I met her.
Yeah, was that something?
She came out to a show.
Yeah.
It was like I met a celebrity. She's like, I'm the one who Penn keeps track of. I was like, wah!
Yeah.
I gave her a big hug.
She's wonderful, isn't she?
She is. She's a very nice person.
Very, very smart, very great. I love Nichelle.
And I'm such a performing dick right now that I can't remember whether I met her in Dallas or Phoenix, which makes me kind of an asshole.
You met her in Phoenix.
I met her in Phoenix. Good.
I don't think she went to Dallas.
No. It had to be one of those two.
Yeah, I believe she's Arizona.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of knowing this. This is the kind of information I never have.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
And I happen to know it, so I'm kind of gloating and very, very, very happy about. I'm now like, I know where people come from.
That's right. You're more hip to it.
Yeah, very hip to it. And you got to hang out with Jim Turner.
I did.
I don't think there's, I remember Jim Turner on stage with Duck's Breath Mystery Theater in '79 in San Francisco, and I remember bits I saw him do once live.
Yeah,
Jim Turner, who everybody, our age, well, we're not the same age, but everybody in between us knows is Randy of the Redwoods,
right,
from MTV.
Yeah,
and he's also on some show with Robert Wall, some sports show.
I think so.
He was on like 10 years ago or longer, 15, 20, 25, 30, I don't know. And but Jim Turner's so funny, and Mark Fight is so funny.
Yeah.
And I so wanted to go see them do Clowntown at the Peacock Theater.
It was cruel to be scheduled to be doing a show opposing their showtime.
We always prefer to be working.
I know.
Always prefer to be working.
Yeah.
How did your shows go?
So good. I did 10 shows these last 2 weekends, 6 in Dallas and 4 in Phoenix, opening for Piff the Magic Dragon. Piff is a popular fella.
Yeah.
A lot of folks come out for him, dressed like dragons and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
You starting to get cosplay?
Yeah, he's got some cosplay involved. People of all ages.
Yeah.
I did an all-ages show. I do an all-ages show at a Dallas comedy club at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, Dallas as a city has people of all ages.
That's true.
I think they pretty much cover 0 to 104.
With their diets, I'm going to say like 90.
Okay. Ribs.
Yeah.
Big old steaks.
I had a girl. I brought a girl up on stage, and I do ropes with my knife.
Yeah.
And when I can't just drop the knife into the floor, if it's too solid of a floor, I hand it to the person next to me. So I handed it to this little girl, and the comfort she had handing the knife made the audience feel chills. I have a 10-inch Bowie knife that I use with my magic wand, and I handed it to her, and she simply grabbed it with a comfort and just never broke eye contact with me, and everyone in the room was like, whoa. This is neither the first nor the last time I believe she'll be handling a 10-inch knife. So,
There you go.
Yeah.
Probably does some skinning.
Yeah, exactly.
And I saw Piff in between, I guess, Phoenix and Dallas, or Dallas and Phoenix.
Yes.
We hung out a little bit.
He is, it is, I don't know if he's like a closet magic nerd. Like he doesn't necessarily talk,
Oh, he's a magic nerd.
It's very rare
Hardcore.
that you can bring up anything, and he's not almost teller-like in his understanding of what the trick is, what it's called, who's doing it currently, who did it the most popularly lately, and what are the problems with it. Like anything I bring up, he seems to just kind of go like, oh, and he just, doesn't even look up from his phone and just rattles off a bunch of facts or something.
These are people who are professionals in their field.
Yes.
Matt King is like that, too.
Yeah, yeah.
He knows everything.
Yeah.
Teller knows everything. You're just confused because you're around me.
It is true. I believe that is true.
And the truth of the matter is, I'm a little more knowledgeable about magic than people think.
Right.
Not a lot.
Nope.
Little more. little more knowledgeable.
Well, that was like, I ended up, on the, that Side Magic podcast, but debating a magic trick with Reddy Rich and RJ Owens. Both of them have decades of magic experience, and Reddy Rich particularly has a good amount of magic knowledge himself. Mm-hmm. And as I debate them, there's just a voice in my head being like, Matt, you're talking to people with decades of experience. You have 13 months of experience. Stop debating them. Stop.
But you're enjoying it, aren't you?
Loving it.
Yeah.
Loving it. I mean, one of the coolest things about performing magic, as comedic magic specifically, is that if one path doesn't seem to be going great, you have this other path that still can go great, and everyone says you did a good show.
Hey. That's not supposed to be the way it is, man.
I know.
That's not supposed to be the way it is. You're supposed to do both really well.
I know.
You understand that?
But when you're the non-famous, unexpected person opening up for a very famous person that they just want to see, you do have that option. You have that option of pursuing one or the other.
Yeah.
So, and I explored both this weekend. One where the plane just didn't seem to take to me, so I just really committed to doing the magic and setting tension in the room. And then all of a sudden people were like, that was really good. That was really good magic, right? And another one where I was being really funny, and then the person was fucking up my last trick so bad. It was my fault for not being clear, but it was definitely my fault. But the fuck up was happening, and it was either restart a trick for the third time or just stop. And I was really funny, so I just stopped. I just did 3 tricks instead of 4 and introduced Piff. And he gave me a look like, what is going on? And I was like, I'm cool with the show I did.
I'm thinking about Springsteen.
Yeah.
Going, sometimes the lyrics go over, sometimes the music goes over.
Or like a string breaks and he's been like, you've had a good time tonight, right?
We're done.
We're out of here.
Yeah. I can't find that opening note.
No.
Can't sing a tune.
No.
Good night. I'll just recite the words to Born to Run.
Yeah, yeah.
In the day we sweated out of the streets. Good night. I can't find that note. Can't find the note.
Can't find the note. But here are the lyrics. Would you love these?
You love these lyrics.
I'll read it like spoken word. You're telling me that wouldn't work?
It would work great. I believe that's all he's doing on Broadway. I'm a little tired of all that jumping.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know how many more knee slides I have in this 69-year-old body. So.
Yeah, so I think maybe I'll just recite.
I'll tell some stories.
Tell some stories. When I was growing up in Jersey, still one of the funniest things Bob Dylan has ever said.
Yeah.
On Theme Time Radio Hour. Our next song is by Bruce Springsteen. I think he's from New Jersey. Very funny.
Yeah.
Very funny. I had several experiences.
Oh, good. That's why we tuned in.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know about the experience.
My friend Robin Leach has died.
Yes.
And they had a celebration of life.
Yeah.
I was just starting to try to understand funerals, and then they changed it to celebrations of life. So I go to this. It's at like the Palazzo Theater.
Yeah.
Where I saw like shows.
Yeah.
And this is a show. And you're in the lobby, and people are dressed flamboyantly. And Chris Angel's there. Say hi to him. He was friends with Robin, very good friends with Robin. Carrot Top is there. Then you go in, and there's like you have different wristbands for where you can get, and then it's a celebration of his life. And his son comes out, says a few words about how Robin was loved, which he was, and what a wonderful cheerleader he was for Vegas. And everybody says champagne wishes and caviar dreams, and it seems like nobody pointed out that is precisely what killed him.
Wishes come true.
Yeah, it's kind of like having a celebration of life for John F. Kennedy, where everybody brings out a Mannlicher Carcano.
And it comes in a what's it called when you put the top down on a car?
Yeah.
Convertible. There you go. It would have been funny if I had that right on the tip of my tongue.
Well, how come I had Mannlicher Kakano?
Yeah, and I couldn't come up with convertible. You're a more successful person than I am.
So, and the Gazillionaire hosts it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they did some like roasting type stuff. Like,
Yeah.
He has young.
Which I worked on. There's a brief period where they did like 3 or 4 roasts in town of all the hubbub or whatever, and Robin Leach participated in all this. He did like to be a joke writer. He did like the camaraderie of drinking and making fun of people.
Yeah, yeah. So it was, and I was, I was alone in my sadness that he was dead, as far as I could tell. But I want to address this because this is the kind of thing that would bother me. Mm-hmm. And indeed it did. Well, first I'll deal with something else that bothered me.
Okay.
They asked me afterwards. Somebody said to me, I guess because I wasn't looking well, what would you like at your celebration of life?
Oh, geez.
And I said, anyone who mentions their own career while talking about me will be pulled off stage instantly. Mic turned off, and they're off. It was amazing. The family talked about their father, grandfather.
Right.
The best speech of the night was his grandson.
Oh, wow.
Who had precisely one joke which killed. One joke which killed. He spoke heartfelt about his grandfather.
Yeah.
Wonderful about what an inspiration he was, talked about Christmas with him and unloading the car of presents and on and on and on, and then said, this is not the way I pictured my first trip to Vegas after I turned 21 to be.
That's great.
Fine joke.
Yeah.
Family was great. And wicked rich casino owners, real estate developers that knew him were wonderful because you couldn't tell who they were.
Right.
They came up, they were introduced by their name.
Not
and then
their accolade.
They just talked about Robin Leach, what a great person he was, his philanthropy. They told funny stories about him. Fabulous.
Great.
Every single person in show business there came out and said, I'll never forget when I first opened, and it was changing my career, what he wrote about me and his review. Brilliant, stunning, best act I've ever seen. When I first made the transition from opening act to headliner, Robin was there. And I kind of went, I guess that's okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's all right. I guess that's what people do.
On his deathbed, I said, Robin, I'm thinking about running a promotion for locals, where any local with a local ID can get $42 tickets, and he said, go for it.
He did. He meant a lot to him. But then, let's talk about Hallelujah, shall we?
Love to.
Okay. Hallelujah is a song in 12/8 where the chord progression is explained in the lyrics, something I always love. John Hartford did that once, too. First is D and then A, and I love that.
Yeah.
Whenever you give your chord progression as the lyrics, I love that. 12-bar blues, when NRBQ counts it out.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They do the whole 12-bar blues, and the lyrics to the 12-bar blues are just counting the 12 bars. I always love that. Now, do we know one of the reasons Hallelujah is so popular? Do you know the story of Hallelujah?
Vaguely.
Okay, well, Ratso, Buddy Ratso.
Yeah.
Ratso Sloman, who wrote the Howard Stern biography, the Houdini biography, everything.
He just had another book. Yeah, another book come out recently, right?
I guess what he's known for is the Tyson book. That's
Yeah.
So, famously, Leonard Cohen wrote 80 verses to. You
Right.
might want to pull up the lyrics to Hallelujah.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Because we're going to talk about the lyrics to Hallelujah quite a bit.
Hallelujah. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't spell it, or I would pull them up. Hallelujah is a really hard word to spell for me. Because it has what? It has an unexpected J?
I just put Hallelujah. Let's see how the internet does.
Yeah. Okay. So Leonard Cohen famously wrote 80 verses to
I
it.
spelled it way wrong. The internet was right on it.
That's because the way you spelled it is the way it's going to be spelled in 5 years. The world changes so fast. So he wrote 80 verses to it famously, and he recorded it, right? But nobody cared. And then Ratso was putting together an album with John Cale, formerly the Velvet Underground. John Cale, a great performer. And Ratso suggested he do Hallelujah. And John Cale listened to it, was not that impressed. And Ratso said, but he wrote a lot of verses. I think we should pick out 4 different verses to do than the ones that Leonard Cohen chose himself. John Cale did that, and it was really good. Then Tim Buckley heard that, and it was really good. And then Leonard Cohen heard John Cale's version and said, oh, those are the verses I should have picked. He re-recorded it. They all had hits with it. And then Rufus Wainwright came in.
Jeff Buckley, right? Tim Buckley's son? Or is it Jeff Buckley?
I think Jeff Buckley's the father, Tim Buckley's the son.
Okay.
I think. Is that my right?
I'm going to double check it right now.
We don't know our Buckleys? I don't know.
You better bet your bottom Buckley on this.
Bet your bottom Buckley. I believe Tim Buckley is the younger of the Buckleys, and Jeff Buckley is the elder of the Buckleys. Elder Buckley Jeff, as we used to say, and youngin Buckley is Tim Buckley.
I bet I'm already being correct on the message board. I should go there first.
Nope.
Go to okay, he's on.
We're not live?
No, you're not. We're not.
Oh,
corrected
we're not corrected.
Anyway,
we're still on rhymes with Fallujah.
You don't even have to bother checking because on this one I'm right. Have you already found it?
I think Jeff Buckley's the younger one.
No, Tim Buckley's the younger one.
Let's see. Tim and Jeff Buckley, A Tragic Tale of... This'll clear it up.
And we're live.
Jeff Buckley's the younger one.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Tim Buckley's the older one.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was wrong. Now, when you pull up Hallelujah on the interweb, it says by Jeff Buckley, even though Leonard Cohen wrote it.
Huh.
Okay, so the song becomes hugely, tremendously popular, and then it goes on American Idol, and everybody does it, okay? Now, my love for Hallelujah is the John Cale version, of course, because it's Velvet Underground, and I like the Leonard Cohen version, okay? But the whole kind of cultural thing missed me. So it's the end of the Robin Leach celebration of life.
Can I shove in my love for the song?
Yes, please.
Is the four-year-old girl singing it for the Pope?
Did she?
Yeah. That's just amazing to me.
Yeah.
This decidedly secular song is co-opted for religious purposes all the time.
It's also a sexual song.
Well, that's what we're going to discuss.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss how...
Which, actually, from a child singing to the Pope, maybe I'm not off. Maybe I'm not nearly as off on this as I think.
Right. Dead on. Maybe the only appropriate place, because it is the collision of religion and sexuality.
Yeah.
And there you've got that in spades.
So I Godot this bit, right?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
You didn't Godot the bit. So Clint Holmes,
Yeah.
a fuck of a singer, a fuck of a performer, and a great guy. Clint Holmes is going to pretty much close the celebration of life by singing Hallelujah. And he has a piano on stage. And they have a montage of Robin Leach's life. One of those Apple put all the pictures in, and they're sent out in, they pop in, look like Polaroids and shit. That's going to come in. And Clint does a perfect performance of Hallelujah. I mean, really, that song has been recorded a lot. It's been performed a lot. Clint Holmes' version, damn good.
I've never been disappointed at a Clint Holmes
No,
performance.
he's always good.
And I always kind of have like a new to Vegas kind of like, oh, Clint Holmes, whenever I see it, his name on something, like, oh, of course he'll be here kind of thing. And then he performs, and I'm always like, thank fucking God Clint Holmes is here.
He's always the best
Yeah.
on every show he's on. And he's also, 20 years older than you think he is.
Right.
And he hits every note.
Yeah.
Pitch is perfect. Performance is perfect. Focused. Knows what all the words in a song means.
Yeah.
Which is very rare,
Right.
especially in Vegas.
Yeah.
It often looks like English speakers are learning their songs phonetically.
Yeah.
So it starts, right? And Clint Holmes does not announce where he's appearing and that there's unlimited shrimp at the buffet. He's fine on all that. And then he sings Hallelujah. Why would this be at a celebration of someone's life? It is perhaps the most bitter song ever written. It is a hate-filled song about love and sex lost and how that relates to hateful religion. There's nothing, yes, it's melancholy, and yes, when someone dies, it's melancholy, but there's a lot more going on. Well, I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do you? You don't really care for music, do you? To me, is so mean and cruel. And I know who he's talking to, and I've experienced them in my life, and I have never been angry enough to say that to those people.
Right.
You don't really care for music, do you? Is such an incredible put down. Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift.
You love that.
I love that. The baffled king composing Hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty and the moonlight overthrew you. She lied to you. She tied you to the kitchen chair. She broke your throne. She cut your hair. And from your lips, she drew a hallelujah. Let's celebrate someone's life, shall we? Let's just think about how great it was.
Man, I'm just picturing the Pope hearing that from a 4-year-old.
Yeah. There was a time when you let me know what was really going on below. It's a song of frustrated sexuality with biblical imagery. It is I think by definition, profane song.
Yes.
It is a profane song. Now, there's certainly a sense at which Robin Leach was known for a certain hedonism, a lot of hedonism, he had that.
Sure.
But to talk about it in this kind of dissipated... So afterwards, I went up to... Because I don't give a fuck. Up to Clint Holmes, and I complimented him. Said, you sang that song beautifully, and it was a great performance. Why the fuck did you sing it here? And then I said to him, I have a request to make for you, Clint. You will very likely outlive me, and they may put together a celebration of my life, and I would like you to close it. I also said this to John Katz.
The same thing?
The same thing. They were both around. I said, I would like you to end my celebration of life singing straight out to the audience, Positively 4th Street by Bob Dylan. You've got a lot of nerve to say you are my friend. When I was down, you just stood there grinning. You say you have lost faith. That's not where it's at. You had no faith to lose, and babe, you know it. You see me on the street, you always act surprised. You say, how are you, good luck, but you don't mean it. When you know as well as me you'd rather see me paralyzed, why don't you just come out once and scream it? That's where I'd like to be remembered. I tried to think as I was listening, is there a more bitter, inappropriate song for a celebration of life than Hallelujah? And it came to me, Positively 4th Street by Bob Dylan. I would suggest that all of you take a moment on whatever music listening you listen to, and look up Positively 4th Street by Bob Dylan, and please please picture it being played at Penn's Celebration of Life. And Katz had one comment that I thought was very, very good. He said, I don't think you should play that at the end of your celebration of life. I think at the beginning. And set the tone for how that evening's going to go. I just don't understand. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. Now, celebration of life, it seems you have the choice of tremendous sadness and we'll miss you, or you had a wonderful life and we all enjoyed it.
Right.
Bitter and hateful.
Yeah.
I don't know how that fits in there. But I want to stress and underline many times, it could sound, telling this story, like I mean that Clint Holmes didn't know what the words meant.
Yeah.
And that he was just singing it as though, no. If anything, Clint Holmes brought it home as purely, I mean, Leonard Cohen would have been very pleased with how he performed it. It was really spot on. And then he told me what's going through his head while he sings it. And boy, that shut me the fuck up.
Oh,
You
yeah?
know, he had a very hard childhood,
Yeah.
Biracial couple and problems with his father. And he says, I'm simply singing that to my father. And all those feelings are that complicated. And,
Wow.
I don't believe I'm violating your trust here because I believe he talks about this in his show.
Okay.
And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, Clint. I won't say any more about what.
What's the line about outdrew you?
Yeah.
I don't remember
what
the
is
whole
the
thing.
line?
Oh, yeah, that's,
I moved to positively 4th Street.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's the last verse.
Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. That's his line.
That's his dad.
That's, yeah,
Wow, that's powerful.
yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm not going to any of this. I'm not going to this funeral.
You got positively 4th Street up there?
I do.
Pull out a few there.
Let's see. Well, you said you had a lot of nerve to say that you're my friend. When I was going down, you just stood there grinning.
What's the verse? You just want to be on the side that's winning.
Oh,
Anyway, they'll listen.
you got a lot of nerve to say you got a hand to lend,
A helping hand to lend.
a helping hand to lend.
You just want to be on the side that's
To
winning.
winning.
It's so great.
There's a lot of people to sing that to.
Yeah.
We've talked privately about how, ain't it funny how time slips away in the past, the Willie Nelson song,
Yeah.
and how 1,000 people have covered that and all of them miss that last verse.
Yeah.
There's a turn in the last verse
Yeah.
where you realize the character has changed,
Oh,
and nobody gets that
No.
in the covers, but that's not what you're talking about here.
No. Clint Holmes gets it. Every word, every syllable, he pours his heart out. And, someone said, do hallelujah. That he went, okay. Now, the...
You asked for it.
I think if anything, it's strange that the one element of this that is strange is that religion is so powerful that, like, its function on these heavier times, that word is so powerful that that's enough, right? Like, sure, the lyrics may not mean what it's supposed to mean, but I bet if I sing this at a funeral, everyone's going to be like, now I can emote.
Yeah, hallelujah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, let's not forget that Leonard Cohen was religious.
Yeah.
He was a Zen Buddhist,
Right.
a pure Zen Buddhist who was raised Jewish.
Yeah.
What you don't get in there is Christian.
Oh, yeah.
Christian isn't in there. But anyway, I was happy to be there with. Although I don't know, they had a champagne toast afterwards, and it was it was very. I don't understand. My friend who died when I was about 40, and suddenly with a heart thing. Was the first funeral I went to. You don't start having people that are your peers die until you get over 40 in the U.S. There's that burst out of high school,
Yeah.
and then it goes a while, for many people. And because I was an atheist, and because he was a very close friend, and because his parents and their rabbi very much wanted me to speak at the funeral, I did it against my will. And I sat down with a very, very kind and intelligent rabbi in New Jersey. So he's a Springsteen fan.
Sure.
And the rabbi explained to me a lot about sitting Shiva and mourning and the traditions. And they seemed very wise. You know, the throwing the handful of dirt in and not having mirrors. And he just explained a lot to me that I should have known. But the comparative religion classes at Greenfield Public High School were not really up to snuff. And this is stuff that wasn't covered in where I learned everything about Judaism, which was Lenny Bruce.
Yeah.
Right? Wasn't covered in that. Wasn't covered in comics. Just, you know, a few references, but not much. And it seemed like a really, really good ritual at the end of life for the people that were there. And my senior advisor, Lawrence O'Donnell Jr., when he told me how to speak, I said, I don't know how to speak at a funeral. And he said, I'm Boston Irish. That's all we do. So he said, his parents will be there. You don't say anything. You don't do any kidding, ball busting for his friends. It'll make him laugh, make their friends laugh. You tell a funny story where here's a hero, and you tell how successful he was and how much you loved him, and you don't say another fucking thing. And he said, you tell that however you want, but he said, you don't fucking talk about, you know, Barry was kind of a goofball. No.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Barry was smart, successful. We loved him. Very, very funny. You know, good. Stay with that. Don't do anything wrong. And I went up and spoke, and it was very, very difficult. And I said to Lawrence O'Donnell, I don't really want to speak at the funeral. He said, oh, you don't, huh? Huh, that's funny, because most people really love it, you fucking idiot. You're not speaking at the funeral for you. This is not going on a roller coaster and let's have some cotton candy, oh boy. This is suffering and misery that you're doing for his fucking parents. So shut the fuck up. I said, oh, okay, yeah, I guess that's right. Like people who say to me, I was going to visit my friend in the hospital, but I don't like going to hospitals. Oh, you don't? You don't like going to hospitals? Maybe you aren't going there for yourself, you stupid asshole. Which is precisely what I say. You know, when Gilbert was in the hospital for so long and so sick, the number of comics that said to me, I don't like going to hospitals. Oh, you don't, huh? Huh, that's funny, because there's no place I'd rather be. I want the opportunity, you know, to get some bacterial-resistant fungus in my lungs.
As a scooped Jell-O enthusiast, I love me a hospital. Can't wait to get down this hallway.
Well, you know, it's even the smell just makes me feel how hard I am. Just if they could only find a way to bottle that smell of death, decay.
Sanitizer.
Sanitizer. They could just do that, boy. I tell you, I would use that to jack off with. Stupid. You're not doing it. But now things are changing. And because the United States of America is becoming a little more secular, and because we have so many atheists, non-religious people in the country, and because people have gone away from the church has had thousands of years to get, I think, pretty good at funerals.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're really good at them. I think that I'm not as familiar with the Christian ones as I am with the Jewish ones, but they're good. They know a lot of stuff. And we don't. We don't know jack shit. People who aren't religious and don't have that to hold on to. Now, the celebration of Robin's life, not everybody, but very close, talked about Robin up in heaven looking down on us, and champagne toast to us and all of that. And I can take that metaphorically. I can take that as fantasy and be okay. Although I think some of them meant it literally. And but I can, you know, I don't want to be disrespectful. They had, you know, tap dancers. They had an act from Opium, 3 women doing balancing. A call, I think they were called Silicon Valley Girls. They're Russian. I guess there's a Silicon Valley there too.
No.
Or they're celebrating their American.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's a catchy name.
They had what are they called? The Australian group that sings Motown.
Human Nature.
Human Nature. Human Nature sang. I forget what they sang, and the Four Tenors of Rock sang, and they sang songs that were unrelated to
Life or Death or Robin.
Yeah, tangential, but sad. And the gazillionaire said, coming up next, we have another boring a cappella group that's just depressing and uninteresting. Just kidding. We have some nearly naked women. So that was the tone of the gazillionaire, which I do believe, without a doubt, Robin would have loved.
Yeah.
And that seems appropriate. But what we're watching here is our culture trying to grab at how we do this thing, how we do this funeral thing. And I really do, everybody is working on it and trying for it. And I also will believe, there's a problem with songs. I mean, Born in the USA is a celebration of the USA. This Land Is Your Land is a celebration of the United States of America. Both of them are exactly the opposite lyrically and the composer's wishes, but that's what they've become.
Right.
And it's possible that Hallelujah is becoming some sort of secular hymn of the struggle of life, and the sexual part is just falling away, and the bitterness is just falling away. And I'm perfectly willing to accept that I'm the one who doesn't understand it, and that doing it there. It might have, I realize this just now.
Right.
It might have been Clint Holmes's idea to do it.
Yeah.
And I was busting him for doing this like he was forced to. Might have been his choice of material. And he might be smarter than me.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no doubt about that. But he might, and he's no doubt that he's more attuned to this too.
Yeah.
When my mother, father, sister died, it was a graveside service that lasted 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It was absolutely nothing, which was the way of what's that?
It was a graveyard smash.
Graveyards. we played Monster Mash.
Which lyrically, if you look at, it's a perfect funeral song.
It's all about dead people.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Do Monster Mash. So, right now, if I die, because this idea will fade, if I die within the next 2 or 3 weeks, you guys, let's start with Positively 4th Street and end with the Monster Mash. May we?
It's like, I hate that this is the only time he ever gave directions for his funeral.
But we have it recorded. We'll play him saying it. It's what he wanted.
I was working in the lab one night when my eyes behold an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise,
He did the mash. He did the Monster Mash.
the monster mash.
It was a graveyard
He
smash.
did the mash. It was caught in a flash.
The Crypt Kicker 5 are mentioned. They're name checked in there. So that was something, and it actually was. I think it was a beautiful celebration of life that Robin would have absolutely loved.
Yeah.
And I want to make very, very clear, although we're making jokes about this and so on, I'm just kind of watching a new way of terminating a life for the people, friends, and loved ones.
Yeah.
Not how to kill somebody, but to have some sort of, and I don't ever use the word closure because you never get it, but some sort of celebration of life. It's exactly the right term.
Yeah.
Celebration
I think
of
you
life.
kind of want, like, I was thinking, like, life has a weight, right? And your funeral, a funeral is like a permission to try to feel as much of that weight as possible.
Well, this is not a funeral, celebration of life,
Yeah.
which happens at a different time than the funeral now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to be doing one for Ward Hall, the great Carney, who just died, and we're going to come on, and I guess this is a surprise, but I don't think a lot of people in Gibtown listen here. We'll be coming on and doing a little video thing at the end.
Oh, good.
And I don't imagine the Carneys. My guess is the Carneys will not talk about where they were appearing next and how Ward Hall gave them good reviews. maybe that's okay too. You know, I mean, for Robin Leach, he helped so many people's career and was so supportive that maybe that's the issue. Do I have something to read here? Is that what Ready Rich was doing?
I think it's stamps.
Is it stamps? Was that right? Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah. Well, let me just make sure I'm handing you the right ad because
Stand by, everybody.
There's Wednesday ads.
Yeah, I think it's stamps.
This week's ads. It is. Yep, I gave you the right one.
These days, you can get practically everything on demand. Like our podcast, listen whenever you want when it's convenient for you. So why are you still taking trips to the post office to mail letters and packages when you can get postage on demand with Stamps.com? Actually, the final mailing of all the director's cut stuff went out, and the mail carrier came up to our door, picked up the packages, all Stamps.com. Beautiful.
Wow.
Just beautiful. If you are not using Stamps.com, then you're mailing stuff wrong.
It's true.
It's just that simple. And there's no choice on this. It's funny they even do ads. There's no choice.
If you're not using Stamps.com, just wherever you are, open a window and throw money out of it right now. You're already doing it.
With Stamps.com, you can access all the amazing services of the post office right from your desk 24/7 when it's convenient for you. Buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter, any package. Use your own computer and printer, and the mail carrier picks it up. That's true. I've seen it happen. I was the one at the door. I was the one at the door going, I wish that dog wouldn't bark like that. Just click, print, mail, and you're done. It could not be easier. We're using it for everything. I just love it so much. We sent out over 5,000 packages, and Stamps.com did them all. Right now, use
Penn
for the special offer. Includes up to $55 free postage, a digital scale, and a 4-week trial.
Whoa.
Yeah, you're with your office. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com. Before you do anything else, right when you first get there, click on the radio microphone at the top of the homepage and type in
Penn.
That's Stamps.com. Enter
Penn.
Penn is the name.
Your action verb threw me off there.
I did. Yeah, I did. You were completely stymied. So I guess that's it. Robin Leach. They also said they were doing a video thing of it, and they came over to me and said, "Would you say a few words about Robin Leach?" And they came up with a video camera at a cocktail party. Everybody around me with a video camera, and cats, Gad flying around, and Matt King there, and Clint and everybody around. And I said, I really miss Robin Leach, because these things, like this thing we're at right now, I hate them, and I don't want to be here. And I used to walk into one of these, and I'd see Robin over on the couch with a big smile and so comfortable here. And I'd go over and tell him a joke, and he'd tell me a joke back. And for that 10, 15 seconds, I would like being here. And now he's gone, and I'm here, and I hate it, and I want to leave. I miss you, Robin. And I also did another thing, which I think you might be interested in. I did. You know about these boasts, the anti-roasts?
No.
Oh, it's pretty cool. They do it at Life is Beautiful. Okay, and I don't remember all the comics' names. I should have. The Lucas brothers were there.
Okay.
And Brandon, I knew their first name. Baron. Do you know a comic named
Baron Vaughn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was good.
Yes, he's a very good comic.
Man, was he good.
Yeah.
And
he's involved with the new Mystery Science Theater stuff. He's from here.
Yeah.
He's done a bunch of stuff.
He's really good. And there was a woman who was fabulous. My favorite guy, I cannot remember his name. I think it was Brandon, Asian American.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
But in his 20s, probably, really funny. And here's the competition. You should do one of these, man. 2 comics come out, and they have a competition for who can compliment the other better.
Wow.
It's the opposite of a roast. And Baron killed me. His first joke was, my competitor here is very light-skinned, and he could probably pass, and he does pass, for very handsome. Is that a great joke?
It's a great joke. It's also much harder than a roast.
Much harder. As a matter of fact, his competitor screwed up by saying, Baron, is really wonderful, as it's proven how wonderful he is by getting himself out of this shit-ass town. So I was one of the judges, and I said, on behalf of Las Vegas, fuck you, you lose. And then the Lucas brothers, who I just loved. I guess everybody else is hip to them. But Cheech and Chong, if they were identical twins, I mean, really funny. And they were complimenting each other, which was really great to see. He said, one of them said, I would like to do a Yo Mama joke. Yo Mama is so smart. When she made me, she made a version of me just a little better in every way for me to be around, which is a great way to compliment your identical twin.
Absolutely.
And he had it was really good. It was really, really funny.
What a fun challenge.
It's a really fun challenge. And some people didn't rise to it. Some people tried to do backhanded.
Yeah.
But the ones who did them pure, like Barron, it was screamingly funny. and the woman who was there, she had one that was great. Her guy finished, and she went, "Oh no!" They all had iPhones in front of them. Yeah, because that's the way comedy's done now. So they're all scrolling, right? So he finishes his, and she goes, "Wait a minute." And she scrolls through and goes, "Wait a minute. I got." Same to you. Which is pretty funny. But they did it. They did it. They did it great. It's really fun.
We, as a
Kyle, what was the guy's name that was hosting it? It doesn't matter.
We'll have to look it up. But
don't bother.
We used to do the.
Was that?
Was it Canaan?
No. Go ahead.
We used to do. We were in comedy groups since we were like 18.
Kyle Ayers. Go ahead.
We were in comedy groups when we were 18, and so we said, like, hey, when we're 30, we should all roast each other, which at the time we thought was like turning ancient. Yeah, sure. And we started doing that, but we were kind of different ages, and as the youngest people turned 30 and we still held the tradition, some of us, we'd move different places. And the roasts, when you're not with each other all the time, it really can be like, wait, what? Like, you kind of like, it's not like the big things that you think they're going to make fun of, but all of a sudden someone calls you cheap in the middle of it, or a control freak or something, and you're like,
I just want you to know, there's a lot of leakage of your psyche that you don't know is here. You have mentioned, someone calling you a control freak during a roast 4 times on this podcast. Do you realize how much that bothers you? You bring it up in different contexts, going, I didn't know that about myself. And I guess maybe we can liberate you a little bit. Yeah. Reddy, I do not feel that Matt Donnelly's a control freak at all. Do you?
No.
Yeah, we don't feel that at all. Yeah. So whatever you're feeling that from whoever said that, and however little part of you feels like you might want to be that, it's not coming out. Because I'm around you a lot.
It's true.
It's not coming out.
No.
But I know it bothers you. It eats at you. Now, I also watched...
or we have domineering personalities that he can't overcome.
Yeah, but he wants to.
That's true. I'm secretly plotting.
I also watched a little bit of Hannibal Buress.
Oh, yeah. So is that... as we roasted the younger people, they turned 30, we were older and further apart, all those things were much more stinging and less funny to us.
Oh, yeah.
Because you don't have that ball-busting camaraderie of being around each other all the time.
Oh, sure.
So you just think, like, I don't see these guys for years, and this is all they say about me,
Yeah, but that's because you wanted to control it more, right?
I want to control
everything they said.
I want to control the narrative,
yeah, exactly.
Even when they're far away from me. And, but boasts, we should all maybe boast each other when we turn 50 or something.
It's hard. It's hard. But what I was taken by was it's the exact same structure.
Yes.
Right? Set up, turn. Set up, turn.
Yeah.
He is passing for handsome. You know what I mean? It's the same exact thing. And the important thing was, and Barron followed this to the letter, he did not have anything that was generic. The person he was roasting was light complected, and very good looking. Right. So it was just perfect. Yeah. I heard another one because I was looking up to what this was. I looked up on the web, where a kind of a not a very attractive comic
Yeah.
and a very, very attractive comic were doing the boast against each other.
Yeah.
And the very attractive guy went, my competitor is so sweet and kind and smart. I'm what he looks like on the inside. There's a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff like that. And it's hard, but it's pretty great.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. And the audience has a great time. And then in between, they would talk a little bit of smack, which is also funny. Oh, good one, motherfucker. I'm taking you down to this next one. Wait till you hear this. You are going down. You're not going to believe how fucking nice I am, asshole. Watch this. We're doing that in between, you know.
Yeah.
Oh!
It's a perfect parody of it.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's really, really, really nice. And then, have you been to Life is Beautiful?
Never.
Okay. Life is Beautiful is big.
Yeah.
You know, it's all Tony O'Shea, big stuff. And there's wristbands with electronics in them. Mm-hmm. You know, you have to push against things. There's golf carts. And I had to, also, Life is Beautiful owns the town then.
Yeah.
They own everything. And there's art, and it's all great stuff. And I was told it used to be like older people go, but now it's ravers. It's all, everybody's 20 there. And, you go in, that's all you hear. The bass is very, very profound.
Yeah.
And so I get there, and now these people are bringing in superstars to do their show. And they have a transpo company that's not even out of Vegas, okay? People come in from like all over the country, and they do transpo for, they were talking about, moving Bob Dylan around and the Stones when they did whatever it was called, Old Cella.
Mm-hmm. Coachella.
It was Old Cella when they did the Stones and Paul McCartney.
Oh, yeah.
And all that. And the same company does it, right? So they know what they are doing. So I was backstage at the Rio, and I had to go over, do the Bose thing, then come back and do my show. And the timing was a little tight. It wasn't ridiculous, it was a little tight. And Glenn had told them we were a little worried. So they come over, they bring the car over, and the driver takes us there. And as soon as we get out, there's a golf cart. And we get into the golf cart, and the golf cart winds us through the whole thing. And we get to the venue, and we go in and do the whole thing. And I watch a little bit of Hannibal Buress, who's wonderful, and I talk a little bit to my fellow wizards, hobnob, eat chips that I was sure were vegan, but were not healthy. And then I go out and I get into the, and now it's really crowded. It's going to be evening now, and I get in my golf cart, and they're moving through, and could you please move out of the way, and da-da-da-da-da. And then I get to the car, and standing at the car is a state trooper in full uniform.
Whoa.
With a state trooper car. And he goes, hi, my name is Officer da-da-da-da. You can call me Tony, and I'll be your escort. And I go, okay, I'll try it, but I usually, I'm more comfortable with women. He said, not that kind of escort. I said, no, I'm happy to try. He goes, no, not that kind of escort, Ben. I will be driving ahead of you. And I go, oh. So we get in the car, and we start to drive out of the parking lot, and the state trooper cherry tops.
Whoa.
He cherry tops. And we're going up the ramp, and we're going from where downtown is to where the Rio is.
Yeah.
And it's, 6:30, and it's Life is Beautiful.
Yeah.
So there's bumper to bumper traffic, and he's got full cherry tops going, and the cars just go, they just pull over, and we are going 85. 85 miles per hour, straight shot.
Yeah.
And Glenn says to me, have you ever done this before? And the woman who's driving says, oh, yeah, all the time. No. I haven't done it before. So I'm sitting down. I took a little bit of a video of a cherry top ahead of me because I've seen him many times behind me. He's ahead of me, whew, you know, and we just fly. You just fly, okay? And then we get right to the Rio, and state trooper goes by and rolls down his window and, so long, everything okay? Takes off, citizen. And I turn to Glenn and go, I am so stupid. I should do this all the time. This is the way to travel. Why doesn't everybody do this all the time? I don't understand why you would drive normally. So now I would like an escort everywhere.
Say now, all these times you've refused to run for public office when people have encouraged you, now you found like the number one reason why you might run for mayor or governor.
It really, really, and you know, and then I brag on this to my wife.
Yeah.
And she says, why'd they do that? I go, because I'm really important. What do you mean, why did they do that? That's not I wanted, that's great.
Yeah, no.
Why'd they do that? I had to get to my show. Would you have made it without it? We don't know. I had time to, you know, check my email before I got in. What do you mean, why? What do you mean, why they do that? I'm in a show. That's why they did it. Boy.
So your transportation services are different than the rest of us, but your wife's the same.
Yes, it was something. I've been in helicopters,
Right.
you know, but I've been in private jets.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, I'm saying this, I'm telling this story because you know how when you feel really guilty about something, you want to get out ahead of it?
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe if I say this and everybody around me laughs, I won't feel like a dipshit tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I want to tell you is I feel awful about this. And that's why I'm leaning into how cool it was and how I should do it all the time. I just kept thinking, you know, I could have gotten there.
I could have rode a bike.
Something. I mean, for that amount of time, my carbon footprint was doubled.
Oh, yeah.
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 He wouldn't necessarily go in there. But I did like the escort joke.
That's a keeper.
But they know how to do this.
Yeah.
The Life is Beautiful people know how to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
They just have it all down. They got it all down.
Yeah.
So libertarians, don't forget you could express your opinion at questionpen at gmail.com.
Oh, you mean because that is a public, everybody pays for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that's true. Are we sure that's true? You sure Life is Beautiful doesn't give state troopers on their off times? Ha! Yeah, you're not sure, are you?
I don't think that they could pay for the cherry top.
Right. And then one of the guys boasting said I was a control freak, and I thought, well, I'm not really. Anyway, if you have an opportunity for a police escort, I got to tell you, it'll be really fun. You'll feel really important. And then you'll feel wicked guilty afterward. But I think it's kind of worth it.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it. It's a good trade-off, right? We're going to, I got a lot of other stuff to talk about because I saw Neil deGrasse Tyson. I saw Frank Luntz came to our show.
Oh, nice.
And I got a whole story to tell about that. But I'll get to that later because that was Penn Sunday School.
Wait, Matt, do you think we should end the show now?
Is that okay with you? If we end the show now?
I'm not trying to find a way to control the end of the show. I don't know why you'd think you need to ask me that. I'm a nice guy.
You're easy going.
I'm easy going.
Cha-cha-cha. You become naked. No, I'm just saying the way you looked at me when I tried to close it.
What look?
You gave a look like, oh, well, maybe we should close it a little later.
I have resting control freak face.
And I had a cherry top going to my show. Once, only once.
That was Penn Sunday School.
You know I love you, even as I speed by at 85 when you pulled over.
The scene was rocking. All were digging the sounds. Igor on chains, backed by the baying hounds. Coffin bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker Five.
They did the mash. They did the monster mash.
Anybody need to pee?
No, I think I'm okay. Let me get the ads out here now instead of.
Yeah.
I need to correct myself because my memory's jacked. But I was wrong about a lot of stuff before we started the show today.
What does that mean?
Carlos Alomar played for Bowie and for James Brown.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. That's why the guitar sound was exactly the same.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I knew that story and I'd forgotten it because I might be the only person who owns Carlos Alomar's solo albums.
Good.
All set?
I'm gonna pee. I wasn't gonna. Now I'm gonna.
I literally took my phone out because I thought, talking about your wife, I prepped when I knew I was going to do that joke, that I was going to take out the thing and see if she was listening.
Stand by for the next episode.
That I knew I was going to make a joke about your wife. I pulled out my cell phone ahead of time.
Yeah.
I was like, I think she's going to text, but she might not be listening today.
Did you not know with Hosier's Take Me to Church, too? There was a girl on America's Got Talent who, like, her shtick was that she was a good Christian girl.
Oh, my God.
And she sang Hosier's Take Me to Church. Word for word. They changed the lyrics so she wouldn't be singing sexually about a woman. And that's
it. Our love is not human.
Yeah.
There's some girl that did maybe
It was
AGT,
amazing. It was amazing.
did Hallelujah on AGT or one of those shows
One of
with
those shows,
with
yeah.
Pentatonics, and she's
Same
like
sort of thing.
13.
It was,
And the Pentatonics took the sexual lyrics.
yeah. But yeah, she's a good Christian girl.
That is...
I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. Take me to church.
I'll tell you my sins, you can sharpen your knife,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
So did I not give you one of these before?
That's a
I don't think so.
it's a fine looking high horse what you got in the stables. Take me to church.
Yeah. I just love the smell of it.
So what you want to do is peel off all the skin with a carrot peeler, potato
Okay.
peeler,
Mm-hmm.
so there's no yellow left on it,
Uh-huh.
and you slice it like a cucumber and you eat the whole thing,
What's that?
seeds included.
This.
You eat the what?
Internet
seeds.
says you don't have to eat the seeds, but the crunchy part is the best part.
You eat the skin too?
No, you peel the skin off. You tell your wife to peel the skin off and slice it like a cucumber,
Okay.
and you eat the whole thing.
Peel the skin off and slice it like a cucumber.
Chame.
What's that?
Chame.
What's that word you're saying?
Johnny.
That's the name of it.
Chame.
This is Penn Sunday School.
Let's go.
And to
Put your headphones on. It's starting.
Jeez.
all angels sings and round us rings the music of the spheres.
This is Penn Sunday School.
Brothers and sisters, welcome to Penn Sunday School. And this episode, we got stuff to talk about.
You doing a Jimmy Durante impersonation?
Last Sunday, Penn left you hanging on all kinds of stuff.
Did you say we were at Show Creator
We're
Studio?
recording for Show Creator Studios. I'm Matt Donnelly. Mike Minot's not here. More importantly, there's a guy here preaching the love. And that guy's name, Penn Jillette.
Yeah. Show Creator Studio.
Show Creator Studios here in Las Vegas.
Here in Las Vegas. Preaching love. So, talking about preaching love.
Yeah.
Many, many years ago, I guess would probably be
Are you about to start singing I'm My Own Grandpa?
the grandfather's clock. I was doing a show called Bullshit. We were doing a thing on political polling or something. I don't know what the subject was.
Yeah.
And I don't do the interviews, I didn't do the interviews.
Yeah.
I would just do the wraparounds in the studio.
Yep.
But someone was out interviewing Frank Luntz. And Frank Luntz is the Republican pollster who also wrote a book about what words to use.
Okay.
He is somewhat credited or blamed for changing global warming to climate change. People, and he's one of the people that advises anti-abortion groups and all of these people what exact wording to use. And some people, maybe overstating it a bit, blame him for Iraq because he helped George Bush and he helped Cheney and with their messaging.
Okay.
And he's the one that does polling, a lot of polling for Fox. He's on Fox News a lot, right?
Yeah.
This is back in another time, 12 years ago or something. So someone is interviewing him on the street. One of our guys. We don't have any guys. One of the local crews that we hired to go out and do an interview with him.
Yeah.
But they're interviewing him on the street instead of in a room or something, just to give let the bullshit show breathe a little bit, right?
Sure.
And while they're interviewing, someone drives by in a car and goes, "Fuck you, Frank!" So it was not one of our best shows,
Yeah.
and we're trying to grab at stuff to try to get a structure and a joke going. And one of the producers just thinks this is the funniest thing in the world. Because first of all, he's not that recognizable. He's on TV now and again, but
Yeah.
not that recognizable. And then a guy rolls down his window and yells, "Fuck you, Frank," and drives by while they're doing an interview. Struck us as really funny.
And recording for the one TV show where that's not a mistake at all.
Exactly.
Like if it was live news, that'd be a bad moment. If it was a taped news, that'd be edited out.
Right.
But it's bullshit.
Right. So I said, let's make it a runner. So we every time we came, we just go, "Fuck you, Frank," right? And then we end the show by, if you see Frank Luntz anywhere, say, "Fuck you, Frank." Okay? That's where we end the show. And this goes out into the world. So several years later, like 5 years later, I get on an airplane in first class because I'm also the kind of guy that gets a police escort. And I sit down in my seat and I get ready to put my headphones on, and there's a guy sitting next to me. Guy says, I don't remember the exact conversation, but it was something like this. Guy says, "You don't recognize me?" I said, "Oh no, I'm sorry." Because I was on bullshit. I go, "Great. What episode?" He goes, "Well, the episode, fuck you, Frank." I'm Frank. I immediately started thinking, where am I flying to?
How long is this flight?
I sure hope this is a 10-minute flight. Because if this is longer than 10 minutes, this is going to be excruciating, right? And he says to me, first of all, I tell him, honestly, I don't say anything to him that's not honest. I go, "We disagreed with your polling and how you did this and that, and those points were all made." And then I'm also, and I said, "This is just the fact. I'm trying to do a comedy show." So you find something like that happens, and you try to build it into some sort of runner, and you try to make it into a show, and that's what I did. And I said, and we've got this stupid little show. And he says to me, "I'm a math guy. I'm a pollster guy. I keep track of stuff. There has not been one day since that show came out that someone has not yelled, 'Fuck you, Frank,' to me."
Wow.
He said, "I am at fundraisers and guys come up to me with a big smile and a handshake and go, 'Hey, fuck you, Frank.'" He said, "It gave me a lot to think about because I know how many people watch Showtime, and I know that you cannot have with Showtime the penetration into the market that this is having."
Right.
He said, "So I became obsessed with what an outsized influence you have." Because he said, bullshit, one of the weird things is bullshit's ratings now,
Yeah.
we've been off the air for 10 years, are almost what they were when we were doing it. It just keeps keeps rolling.
Yeah.
Of course, they keep showing the "fuck you, Frank" over and over. It's always there. So then I tell Frank, which never crossed.
Oh, and now Showtime's an app now.
Yeah,
So now you have the archives. So
Right.
now it's not about whether they still air it.
they still air it.
Yeah, but even if they don't,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, like I can now HBO doesn't. I don't know whether they air The Sopranos or not, but I can go back and watch all The Sopranos.
So, but this was after, it'd only been off the air like 4 years.
Yeah.
And then he says to me, then I explained to him, which completely blows his mind. I say, that wasn't our guy yelling, "Fuck you, Frank." I go, that just happened. He goes, it didn't just. I go, just happened. That's what we thought was so funny. He said, well, that's one of your crew guys. I go, no, it's not a crew guy. He goes, you just put it in voiceover. I go, no, we didn't. That's what happened. You were talking the street. Someone drove by and yelled, "Fuck you, Frank." I thought it was funny. Now, it's my fault that I thought it was funny. I said, I'm the one that pushed in the runner and everything. But I said, the original event was not me. That was just what the world was doing. The world yelled, "Fuck you, Frank," and I repeated it. So Frank and I sit on the plane for however long it was,
Yeah.
and we become friends, which is crazy.
Right.
Crazy. And we start talking about politics and philosophy and ethics, and we kind of sort of agree, And
There's something about like being in the ranks when you like whatever, man in the arena stuff, like people who share a public,
yeah,
like you said, like behind the scenes, Lawrence O'Donnell talks to people who don't share his views,
Sure.
but they do share his position. And there's a camaraderie to doing that,
And so Frank and I talk, and now, every person that
Yeah.
personally, every single one of them hates Frank Luntz, hates him.
Yeah.
I mean, like Glenn Beck, just
Yeah.
pure, no question about it, just hate him. He is,
Or they don't know who he is.
he has been friends.
But as soon as I tell them, they will hate him.
Yeah, he's been friends with Donald Trump for a very long time.
Yeah.
Knows him very, very well. And I found out some pretty amazing stuff. So he writes me emails and invites me to things now and again when he's in Vegas. He's doing an HBO show, like mini specials. They're 50 minutes long. He's doing on polling.
Neat.
And so he was coming to town, and I was really tired. It was the same day I had done 2 Sunday schools, and then 2 weeks worth of Sunday schools, and then went and did Life is Beautiful. And when I had the police escort,
Please escort shirt out.
and so it was, I'd put in a.
You were
12
exhausted from grinning like a child at the police
my
siren ahead of you.
Face was really sore. And from the snacks backstage being laid out perfectly.
Tough.
Tough. It was a tough day. So, but I've been talking a lot that day. I did.
Yeah.
I did like I think 6 hours on mic, and no longer. But not important. But he wanted to come backstage, so he comes backstage, and I have to think about what I can. It'd be awful to after saying that we become friends to then do something wrong.
We
Because,
trade that in for a few minutes of good podcasting.
yeah, exactly. I want to make sure I don't betray anything that isn't known publicly. But
Should we ready sing a song while you think?
I'm going to choose these words carefully.
Okay.
No one I have met or talked to
Yeah.
personally has been more upset about the Trump presidency.
Really?
He said, we didn't talk much about Trump or his policies.
Yeah.
He just said he doesn't believe America has ever been this ripped apart. He said, people are yelling at each other in my focus groups. He said that never happened. People just yell at each other. He said that's never happened. He said there's no respect from one side for the other. He said that he has given the entire country license to openly hate everybody.
Yeah.
And he said, then he gave me this figure which kind of made my skin crawl. And I'll get the figures wrong, of course, but
Right.
I believe he said 40% of millennials have a friend, close friend, or family member that they have stopped talking to because of politics.
Ooh.
And he said, we are able to track Thanksgiving and Christmas celebrations that are canceled. He said that was not even a thing we could track before. Now it's a thing happening all over the country. He said, and I don't think historically there's ever been a case of a country coming back from its population despising each other.
It's tough. I mean, that's really tough to think about. I was having a cup of coffee with a friend, and I was saying, like, I miss it when politics was just a topic.
Yeah.
Like, you talked about what was going on, and now it seems like trying to talk about anything but politics is a task that you must undertake in order to not do it in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to think, nope, don't talk about this current event.
Yeah.
Instead, try to bring up something about your family or work or something like that. Like, that is, you would just wake up with that dominating conversation.
And he underlined this like 5 times. He said, I am not talking about unfriending someone on Facebook. I'm not talking about blocking someone on Twitter. I am talking about cutting off all contact with a family member or close friend because of political differences.
Yeah.
He said it was this bad in '68, but it wasn't going instantly across the whole country.
Right.
Every single thing. He said the communication slowed down there and got us through '68. And he said, I am terrified. And then he said, and this is mind-blowing, this is a Republican strategist, right? Republican strategist, friend of George Bush, right? Friend of Cheney,
Yeah.
knows him. He said, if Oprah Winfrey would run for president, I would not only support her, I would work for her for free.
Wow.
He said, because she is on my list the only person that can bring the country back together. He said, I don't care at all about her politics. I just want someone to say, we're all okay.
Yeah.
And he said, this was his prediction, which I thought was amazing. He said, Elizabeth Warren will probably run, and she may very well win. But she will win by standing up to Trump. And so the division of the country will not change at all.
Right.
It'll continue that. He said, what I'm waiting for is somebody who will be bringing the country together. And he suggested the New Orleans mayor, who I just blanked at his name, but he said who could also do it.
Yeah.
He said, but when Trump went at Hillary Clinton physically during the debate and Hillary Clinton backed away, which he said our polls show is when she lost, that really hurt her a lot. He said Elizabeth Warren will go toward him and she will say, back off. And he said that will win because he said many people in this country will say that's the way a man like that should be treated. And he said then we go into another 4 years of the exact same kind of hate.
Yeah.
Just flipping who's in power.
Yeah. That feels accurate.
Yeah. It was an amazing, amazing, amazing conversation. He just had
I used to say,
85-minute conversation one-on-one with Trump, which no one gets. He had just come in from that.
ooh, that's a lot to process.
Yeah. He also said, which I hope this is public. I hope I'm not violating a trust, but it made me laugh so much. He is the one who at 5:10 on election night called Hillary Clinton, Dick Cheney, George W. Bush, and Jimmy Carter and told them Hillary has won.
Why did he do that?
Because Hillary had won. His exit polls had never been that wrong.
Wow.
And he told me why the exit polls were wrong, which is a fabulous piece of information. I love this. And the math on it is perfect. It's great. He said when you do exit polling, 2% of the people won't answer the exit polls. None of your business. They walk away. 2%. Always have 2%. So he said we always have an exit polls as long as we've been doing them. That 2% just gets thrown out. So
Oh.
it's either 0 for either one or 1% for either. But it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
Exit poll stays the
Just
same.
split that.
He said, this time, he said, and we didn't notice this, we had 11%
Holy
would
shit.
answer. 11%. And he said, and commented on the exit poll thing over and over again with quotation marks around it, fuck you, fuck off. He said our pollsters had never been told to fuck off or fuck you more. He said it was almost 11% with the word fuck in there. Fuck you, fuck off.
Wow.
And he said a few of our exit pollers, just for fun, followed those people who were getting into pickups with Trump stickers.
Yeah.
And he said, we now believe that we gave 4.5 to each of them. And he said they were mostly Trump people.
I didn't want to say
He
it.
said at least the 9% that wouldn't normally do that were Trump people. And he said they didn't think there was any chance Trump was winning. And this was their last fuck you to the deep state. Oh, fuck you with your poll.
Yeah.
And he said, so that explains it. He said we had more people telling pollsters to fuck off than we ever had. And that's, that was the start of the hate.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But Frank Luntz is, once again, and I have this, and I mean, I'm sure people will be all over my ass about this, about just saying I like talking to him.
yeah.
We disagree on a lot of stuff,
yeah.
on a wicked lot of stuff. Okay. And two guys sitting in a room disagreeing about stuff, that's okay. That's fine.
That's what you miss, right? That's what he's talking about. It's like you take turns with each person getting to kind of move their agenda forward for 4 years or 8 years,
yeah.
and you see how it shakes out with the country, and you kind of understood that as a
And you sit with your
a level-
uncle. You sit with your uncle at Thanksgiving and go,
Yeah.
"No, you're crazy. What the fuck is wrong with you?" And then you laugh and you enjoy the suffering of animals together.
exactly us versus them.
And it's just, it's all this stuff about you don't have to agree politically, but he also, Frank made me see that one of the things that Trump is doing that I can't remember anyone else ever doing, including Nixon, is paying no attention to people who didn't vote for him.
Yes.
Obama tried really hard to
Yeah.
say, if you didn't vote for me, I'm still going to be your president.
Yeah.
I mean, Jimmy Carter, ridiculous.
No, and every
George
every president has some sort of that language that you can go back to.
Not even lip service from
Yeah.
Donald Trump. And he does not allow anybody around to even bring polls of what other people are thinking.
That's like you were talking about leadership. Leadership matters,
Yeah.
And when someone like that is in a position of leadership, you can't heal below that. Like it's really hard to.
Right.
And like we used to, normally you would hear that from George W. Bush saying like, but I'm president for every American, not just the Republican.
Has Trump ever said that?
No. and we would debate. Do you take that genuinely, or you think it's a bunch of political bullshit? And never have we missed a slithering snake of a person more than ever. we want the snaky back.
Yeah.
We want the weasel. We want the weasel back in politics. We want someone to pretend to care about everyone at least. It's frightening when it's not. It's frightening when someone's not doing that part of the job.
I know. It's amazing. And I supposedly he is even cut off from that. His
Yeah.
staff is allowed to say, these people are thinking this. He doesn't want to know.
No, and when all that when they left the election map, when they do it like by the region instead of by the numbers, so the map looks majority red with little bits of blue. They left it on his desk, to like make sure he felt pumped up that like the most of the nation voted for him and stuff. Like that's so bizarre.
Yeah.
To like, please make sure I have my own perception of myself around me at all times. That's
Yeah.
your job.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Scary.
It's crazy. But to see Frank Luntz that upset was incredible.
Yeah.
Because there are many, 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 many people who would believe that Frank Luntz is partying now. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Got the president he wants. And it's very, very, very far from that. it's really remarkable. And here's a guy who's got bones to pick with Woodward. He's not in any way
Yeah.
on the other side.
No.
I know, and that's the part that's so crazy. Anyway, I had a great time with him. We're gonna hang out some more, and when he comes back to Vegas, which he's coming back to do HBO, we're gonna do a show with him.
We are.
He will be.
I was just going to ask if we're going to get to do one.
We almost did one last Monday, but I couldn't pull it together quickly enough.
Okay.
Yeah, next time he's in Vegas, we're gonna do one.
I mean, it's fascinating to talk to someone like that. Someone with data, someone with numbers, someone with skills to get data and numbers, people who know what actually moves the needle and stuff, regardless of their politics. It'd be fascinating to get to talk to someone with that skill set.
Yeah, and someone who who talks to all these people directly, who knows all these people directly, who's living.
It's also strange you describing that when Trump moved at her and she moved backward, that the polls show at that moment. That is so bizarre that we are that animal-like. That's the thing that's coming into my head about that.
Yeah.
That's nothing about platform or campaign stops or visiting which states. It's nothing about knocking on doors. It's nothing about courting fringe voters. It's just watching how an animal treated another animal, and that people feel something so viscerally inside of them. That's strange to me.
But I just it would be so nice if we had one person who would run in the next election for the whole country.
Yep.
I don't know who that would be. It's funny that he goes with Oprah.
It is funny.
And he says Oprah is absolutely will not consider it.
Because if you're sane and rich, you don't want to be president.
No. Or if you're sincerely rich.
Yeah, that's what right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know if Trump.
Exactly.
He will be rich when he's done. I mean, if he's not in prison.
But yeah, it's just I think you don't realize how good you have it until you think about being president, right? If you've accumulated any kind of empire, like Mike Bloomberg, sociopath.
Yeah.
Why? You do so much good outside of politics. And I understand that they call the action and everything. I understand that, but someone like that, what could you possibly want out of the presidency?
Well, being president is a good thing on your resume.
Sure. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
I mean, you can be a barista anywhere. I think there's a lot of jobs you get instantly. Well, not this one. not Trump. I mean, there will be places that he will not be able to work because he was such an awful president.
Yes.
He would have a hard time. I don't know.
It's already strange how much of, him not going to specific funerals,
Yeah.
the amount of actual formal events that we like a president at, that he's just politely not done. And we've been good. Thank you for not going to that thing.
What he talked about a lot was, and this is, I think, a really interesting way to see it. You can talk about, which I can't because I don't understand it, which is why it's really good I'm using this analogy.
Yeah.
But colors can have the same intensity,
Yeah.
be very different colors.
Right.
What he talked about was how Colbert and Lawrence O'Donnell and Lemon on CNN,
Yeah.
and he named a few others, Elizabeth Warren, are matching Trump for intensity and tone.
Yeah.
Even though they're saying the opposite thing, they're saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
They're saying this is the way we do discourse in this country now.
Yeah.
And no one chose, I mean, I guess you could say, Jimmy Fallon
Yeah.
tried it for an instant and got beaten for it.
Yeah. There's also to see that we live in interesting times from a technological standpoint. John F. Kennedy was around when television and television debates changed the way we run for president forever. You know, they say everyone who listened to that debate on the radio thought
Yeah.
Nixon crushed him.
Yeah.
More people watched it on television
Yeah.
and fell in love with John Kennedy, right?
Yep.
And now we live in an era where technology-wise, the conversation never stops. And so you found someone for the first time and decided, you know what? I'm going to agree to that, and I'm going to agree to be the subject of conversation constantly. And now you're seeing that change the way we interact on a political
But,
forefront.
Obama, Trump is the opposite of Obama in every way.
Yeah,
Every way. And Obama was cool.
yeah,
I mean, the no drama Obama thing was kind of sort of true.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this, but Frank said if someone raised their voice in an argument in a room with Obama, he left the room. He did not. He's a president of the United States who did not like conflict.
no,
And Trump has said, the only time people listen is when you're arguing. And what Frank is longing for is that someone who comes in not with a different point of view, we got plenty of that,
yeah,
but comes in with a different temperature,
yeah,
who comes in not,
yeah.
it's kind of like if you didn't speak English, could you tell Trump from Colbert?
Right.
In terms of the hatred coming off,
Right.
And we really need somebody who has, I don't care, even the same point of view as Trump,
Yeah.
but without the hate, would be a huge step up. I'm not interested right now in the policies. I'm interested in the sweetness.
Yeah.
Because having a president, I would take Jimmy Carter in a moment.
Right.
Having a president who just doesn't radiate hate would be a really good thing.
Yeah.
And having someone to go against him in the culture. And Frank said it can be done in the culture. He said culture always wins over politics, which was an interesting thing to say.
That is an interesting thing to say.
But we don't even have that in culture. We don't even have a comic. We don't even have a musician who's coming out and being gentle and kind.
Even Taylor Swift and Katy Perry fight each other. I mean, what are we going to do?
Oh, I know.
What are we going to do?
What are we going to do? If you're looking to buy a car, I'll have for a second. You're probably familiar with terms like MSRP. You might even know what it stands for. But what does it actually mean? The same goes for invoice, list price, dealer price. It's enough to confuse anybody. All you're really looking for is a price that actually means something. Introduce True Price from True Car. Now you can know exactly what you'll pay for the car you want, including fees and accessories, before you even get to the dealership. It's such a good idea.
Yeah.
True Car dealers will show you the true price on cars like the one you want, all from the comfort of your home. How do you know if your true price is a great price? Because True Car shows you what other people paid for the same car you want. And your certified dealers know this, so they set their true price competitively so they can win your business. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, visit True Car to enjoy a more confident and car buying experience. Some features not available in all states. Okay, so True Car, check it out. Check out True Car. Pluto TV is the leading free streaming television service. Watch over 100 TV channels and thousands of movies on demand, all completely free. Pluto TV never even asks for a credit card. Whoa. You don't even need to sign up to watch free. Pluto TV is the easy and completely legal way to watch your favorite TV shows and hit movies for free. What are you waiting for? Never pay for TV again by downloading Pluto TV. You can download Pluto TV for free on all your favorite devices today, including your phone, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, smart TVs, PlayStation, and anywhere else you stream. What are we talking about now? Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Sleep Number. Got to talk about Sleep Number. I got to tell you, I've been sleeping. I was sleeping badly for a while, and now I'm sleeping better. Changes your whole life. Changes your diet. Changes your mood. Changes the amount of work you get done. Fabulous. The new Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed helps everyone from parents to pro athletes improve their daily performance through proven quality sleep. Sleep Number setting for me, still 65. I'm going a little bit softer here. So many couples disagree on mattress firmness. Sleep Number beds let you choose your ideal firmness on each side, so it's just right for both of you. And the new beds are so smart, they sense your every move and automatically adjust to you, keeping you sleeping comfortably throughout the night. Oh, all you want is a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
It's a really important thing. Come in during the fall sale and save $100 on the Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 Smart Bed, now only $899. Sleep Number is the official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL. You'll only find Sleep Number at one of their 550 Sleep Number stores nationwide. Visit sleepnumber.com/. Find the one nearest you. Sleepy-Q. Where were you?
I missed it.
Sleepy-Q. Good. You know, if you like my show, you're going to love the Jordan Harbinger Show on Podcast One, also pronounced
Podcastone.
along with, Jason DeFilippo. DeFilippo. Jordan taps into the wisdom of the world's top performers, from intelligent operatives to legendary musicians, iconoclastic writers to visionary change makers, to teach you the strategies and insights that are most successful to use in your everyday life. Check out the Jordan Harbinger Show every week on Podcast One, wherever else you get your favorite podcasts.
Sleepy-Q.
Podcastone. I went to see Neil deGrasse Tyson.
The movie?
No. Yes, the movie.
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson played at the Smith Center. I love Neil deGrasse Tyson. We've been on his podcast, Stargazers, whatever it's called. Star Talk.
Yes.
Star Talk. And I love Neil. And Teller went with a party of 7 people.
Wow.
And it was a big shindig there. Everyone was there. I saw my buddy Danny Greenspun was there. Tony Shea was there. Who else was there that I saw? Mac King was there. Last Thursday night at the Smith Center. 3,000 people showed up to see an astrophysicist.
That's pretty amazing.
Pretty good. And the lecture was called An Astrophysicist Goes to the Movies.
Oh.
And it was Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about movies, mostly 80s movies. And he was giving us things that only an astrophysicist could possibly have explained to us. That Star Wars isn't real.
Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on, I need a pen.
Yeah. What I found out watching Neil deGrasse Tyson is that every college professor wants to be a stand-up comedian. Is that true?
I think every college professor thinks they can do it.
Yeah, that's true. They watch it and go, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
My students laugh when they can't leave the room.
Yeah, and I don't have to do as much research or anything like that.
Yeah.
I can just say how my feelings.
Don't publish papers.
Yeah.
So, how about that airplane food? So, what part of the chicken is a McNugget? Why don't they make the airplanes out of that black box stuff?
I tell you, guys and girls react differently to stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I tell you. Am I crazy, or are some of these commercials really stupid? You ever notice at the shop you have the one squeaky wheel and the
man.
Yeah. I don't know. My cell phone, I'm on it all the time. But
You're about to sell the Smith Center.
what's that?
You're about to sell the
Yeah.
Smith Center.
So he's an astrophysicist. So I didn't know this. Did you know that they changed Titanic because of Neil Patrick Tyson?
Neil Patrick Tyson. What do you mean they changed Titanic?
When she is laying down on the driftwood at the end. Oh, I hated Titanic, so I don't remember anything about it. I took my mother. Do you know about this?
No.
Talk about this ever? I took my mother to see Titanic, which is
Yeah.
a very, very, very big deal. Remember, it was housebound.
Yeah.
She had round-the-clock nursing care. And I called the Garden Theater in Greenfield, Massachusetts, and they were showing Titanic, it just come out, so we know the year of it, right? Must have been 99, 2000. She died the
98,
first.
I think.
98, yeah. So it was the end of 98. So my mother was a year from dying, paralyzed, suffering. And I said to her, let's go to the movies.
97.
97. Let's go to the movies. So I called.
96 and not a year sooner.
I said we're going to go see Titanic, and my sister, my mother, and I called the Garden Theater in Greenfield, Massachusetts, and said I want to bring my mother in. How are we for wheelchair access? I decided not to bring a nurse with us. My sister and I helped her into the wheelchair, got the wheelchair, got her into the car. All of this is very, very hard, very difficult stuff, as any caregiver knows. And by the way, I'll say this again, and they said this at the Robin Leach celebration of life too. Everybody that was part of the family got on stage and said, caregivers, they're the greatest people in the world.
Yeah.
The kindness, they're life-saving. Yeah, I just can't believe people have this job. Now, when I think about job of heroes, I don't think of astronauts. I think of caregivers. Astonishing. We were going out without a caregiver. We were just going to fly solo. So load her into the wheelchair. I get her to the theater, and we get her down in there, and the staff was really nice. We get her in a seat and get the wheelchair away, and it's all very nice in the seat. We're going to watch the Titanic. This was going to be the last movie my mother would see in a theater. We all knew that. And I was happy because Titanic is a family movie and features an old lady, Good. So the movie starts, and the movie goes on the screen. My mother goes, I certainly didn't come to the theater to see an old lady. I just look in the mirror. I don't want to see old people in a movie. Why are there old people in a movie? I don't want to look at old people. Your father's in the house with me. I can look at him. I don't want to see old people in a movie. We don't want. Why do they put old people in a movie? No one wants to look at them. Okay, good. Then she says, Leonardo DiCaprio comes on the screen. My mother says, where's the leading man? I say, well, that's leading man. That's Leonardo DiCaprio. She says, that's a boy. I go, he's the leading man. She goes, that's a boy. That's not a leading man. I want somebody attractive. I want Sean Connery. I want Harrison Ford. My sister leans over and goes, Kevin Bacon. Just out of the blue.
Just helping out.
Just helping out.
Maybe she saw him as like a bridge between Harrison Ford and Leonardo DiCaprio. It's a perfect choice.
She goes, that's who I got to watch for this whole movie? Leonardo DiCaprio? She didn't say his name. That guy?
Yeah.
I said, well, he's the star. She goes, ugh. I go, he's a good-looking, she's a good-looking boy. I would like somebody that's masculine. Like Sean Connery. I go, yes, why? Like Harrison, Kevin Bacon. Fine.
Third base.
Then, a little while later, and she goes, did you ever notice that people who are in love, who talk about being together forever, are always younger than 20? No one in their 80s wants to be with anybody. I've been with somebody forever. It's not that great. We've been married 60 years. Who cares? They want to be together forever because they're 20. Okay, Mom.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Isn't he going to blow up? I thought they was going to blow up. All this is people wet and cold. I want things blowing up. So.
You should have told her the sinking of the ship happens in real time.
Yeah, very close.
That is, they timed it. That was one of the things about the movie. They decided that when the ship started sinking, that it would take the exact same amount of minutes in the movie for it to sink as it did in real life.
Okay, well, who am I to say Titanic is not a good movie? It sure is successful. I hated it. My sister hated it. My mother hated it. She said, thank you for taking me to that movie. It stunk.
So at any point, did you think about going over to one of the other multiplex theaters?
Too much to move her out, and I don't know anything else is
I'll tell
appropriate.
you what else came out that year, because I remember they ran against each other, which I really liked, was L.A. Confidential. I like that movie a lot.
Yeah,
Face
and
Off.
that has Guy Pearce.
Yeah.
I bet my mom would have been fine with Guy Pearce.
Exactly. Yeah.
Guy Pearce would have been fine. He's in that other category. But I always think about that.
And Russell Crowe character actor too.
Yeah.
Not when he's that full ego, Russell Crowe.
Yeah, I loved L.A. Con. Or it's actually a French movie, The Confidential.
It's hard to. I think if you're young, I don't think you can possibly explain accurately how popular Titanic was. It really was like a consuming popularity.
Yeah.
Like,
Because they discovered that maybe girls would buy tickets too.
I think so.
Notice
Yeah.
that? So while my mother was complaining
Yeah.
about the absence of sexy men,
Sure.
Neil deGrasse Tyson was not secure enough to complain about that.
No.
He complained that when, what's her name? Not Kate Hudson, but
Kate Blanch. Nope, not Kate Blanchett either.
well, anyway,
Definitely a Kate.
I liked the topless moment of that
Yeah.
when she was Winslet.
Yeah.
Hey, who would have thought I'd win that one?
Nailed it. Faster than the internet.
Who, by the way, is smart and wonderful and a great actor.
Yes.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
also Leonardo DiCaprio is too.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a great movie, just not for me, not for my mom, not for my sister.
No Kevin Bacon.
No Kevin Bacon. She's laying on driftwood or something,
Yeah.
looking up at the stars.
Yeah.
Now, Neil deGrasse Tyson points out that we know where the Titanic sank.
Mm-hmm.
We know when the Titanic sank.
Yes.
So consequently, we know she was looking in the sky.
Aha.
And what they show on the screen is not only nothing to do with what you would be seeing in the sky, but also they take a mirror image of it. So it couldn't be anywhere in the sky ever. It's a fraudulent sky.
Got it.
And Neil deGrasse Tyson was very bothered by this, and he bumped into James Cameron at a party a couple years later and said to him, Mr. Cameron, the sky isn't right over her head there. And James Cameron said to Neil, can you imagine how much money that movie would have made if I'd gotten the sky right? And then said,
amazing.
that's all done in post. I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with that at all. But thank you, Neil.
Yeah.
And Neil said he thought that that he had been dismissed rather successfully. And then he said the whatever it was centennial edition must be the sink of the Titanic, not of the movie being out.
Yeah.
My mother has been dead 100 years. Actually, no.
No.
I don't know. People just get uglier.
20th anniversary, 25th anniversary?
I think it's the centennial of the Titanic sinking.
Oh.
Right? Wouldn't that have been 2009 or something? When did the Titanic sink? Either one of those numbers would be fine. Either the centennial or the actual sinking. We'd be able to figure it from there. No one knows. Okay, good.
According to the internet, April 15th, 1912. So it could have been the...
The 100th anniversary would have been 2012, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in 2012, or 2011, I suppose, Neil deGrasse Tyson got a phone call and from a post-production supervisor
Yeah.
who said, Mr. Cameron informs me that we got the sky wrong. How do we get him right? So in the centennial edition, the sky is right over the head. So
Man.
imagine how much that's going to make.
If you're the post-production guy, you worked on like one of the most inflated budgets at the history of movie making at the time. They built the largest fucking water tank they ever could have built to build this movie. You made this technical marvel, and then you're just gonna waiting for the anniversary to come around just to print more money. You get a phone call about the goddamn sky. You got to go back to work on this thing that I'm sure just makes you get like shivers just sitting at the same, going back to the edit bay to look back at that shit. And just the PTSD that must come from working on that film.
And they fixed other sky scenes too. So the sky is all right all the way through. And then
Maybe now your mom would have liked it.
in the funniest, no, I don't think so. Unless they have Sean Connery hanging naked in the sky.
We also added a little baritone to Leonardo DiCaprio's voice. We digitally added some shoulder meat.
Yeah. Well, my mother was a elderly New England woman.
Yeah.
My mother, I don't think, ever said the word sex. My mother never commented on someone being attractive.
Yeah.
But I guess she was so near her life, she was okay saying that to her son. I will tell you, you know how I speak.
Yeah.
Still, my mother saying, "Why don't they have a sexy man?" scandalized me.
Oh, I bet.
I was like, what?
What?
And my sister,
Yeah.
who was also a very prim and proper New England woman, saying, "How about Kevin Bacon?"
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I told Kevin Bacon. I thought he should know he was on that list. With my
Yeah,
sister.
exactly.
How about Kevin Bacon? Yeah, and Neil. Then what I thought was the funniest line in the movie, in the Neil deGrasse Tyson show, was he said he had corrected the sky in Titanic.
Yeah.
And he said, and that got leaked to the press, and I laughed hysterically because James Cameron didn't leak it to the press. Post-production guy didn't leak it to the press. Woodward, nowhere near there.
That was trying to crack the code on the old anniversary re-release DVD.
No. Someone leaked to the press. It was leaked to the press, said Neil deGrasse Tyson, using the passive voice. Yeah, Neil, it was leaked. And, Tyson corrects Titanic.
Yeah.
Now Titanic is perfect. Now, there was no Valda Gillette corrects Titanic.
No.
Sean Connery now stars. That didn't come up. But it was really wonderful to see 3,000 people in Vegas going to the Smith Center with a high ticket price to see an astrophysicist talk for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
That is pretty great. And what else? You just talked about Titanic, or was it all about movies?
Yeah, it was called An Astrophysicist Goes to the Movies.
Oh, okay.
He also showed some beer commercials and
Okay.
said this is what alien life would look like.
Because he got
He
famous
showed
for like
Contact. He showed Star Wars. He showed Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Did he talk about Gravity?
Yes, he did.
Because that was like a viral Twitter thing. He went and saw Gravity, and
He mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That he wouldn't go away from her,
yeah.
and this and that. And he mentioned the Martian, which was really funny because it was just, oh, everything's right.
That one got a tip top.
Yeah, yeah. But I think, there's a line in Shakespeare, "Need no ghosts come from the dead tell us this." Need no astrophysicist to tell us that Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure was not heavily sciencey.
The time-traveling phone booth wasn't heavily sciencey.
Yeah. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes.
Socrates.
Socrates.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I did not like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure when it came out.
Yeah.
And because of Neil Patrick Tyson, our whole family watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and loved it. We all just
Interesting.
loved it.
I am so curious. I loved that movie when I was young, and I watched it a lot, but a long time ago. I didn't even think to rewatch it. That's interesting.
I'll tell you, Keanu Reeves
Yeah.
is fabulous. You could not be cuter than Keanu Reeves is in that. And he commits to the character in a clowny way,
Yeah.
but he has that Larry Fine thing of when someone else is working the scene, he's still working. He's still watching everything. He's still
Giving
watching everything.
mugging.
And it's not even mugging, but just there. He's paying attention.
Yeah.
And I thought about making that movie and going, we don't know this is going to be a hit. And they could never have known it was going to be that much of a hit.
No.
And
Getting Carlin, I was going to say, getting Carlin to do it must have
Carlin.
been like, oh, we got somebody.
Yeah.
And a go-go.
Which is the go-go? One of the princesses?
Joan of Arc.
Oh, Joan of Arc is a go-go? Oh, yeah. She's a go-go. Yeah.
Nice.
And she's a guitar player, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But it's a nice movie. He also talked about Back to the Future and Contact and Close Encounters and The Breakfast Club.
I didn't realize this. Like, my dad
Expendables
can
2.
do a lecture now, like, because he hates how law is represented in all films.
Well, we come back to one of the funniest things Bobby Slayton ever said. Bobby Slayton, a great comic,
Yeah.
said a lot of funny things. He went to see. There was a movie called Stand Up. It was Tom Hanks and Jerry Lewis or something.
Sally Field, right?
I don't know. Anyway, he came out of that movie and said, "Now I know how cops feel." But yeah.
Yeah.
The lecture that Neil gave,
Yeah.
if done by now that Alex Kaczynski is no longer in the Ninth Circuit and he loves movies, he should start touring
Yeah.
with a lawyer goes to the movies. He'll be really, Godot always says that when he's watching Law and Order, he
Yeah.
always goes, well, that guy goes free now. He goes free now. He's free. They can't do that. He goes free now. But it's true.
Yeah.
Any of the liberties they take. My father-in-law, who's a doctor, he can't watch any medical shows.
Yeah.
You try to tell him even watch House. No, I can't watch House. There's other stuff around. No, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Yeah.
But it was fabulous to see Vegas out of their mind excited about an astrophysicist. Not the reputation we have,
No.
but sold out 3,000 seats.
Well, that's kind of what the Smith Center's done to this town, really. It's kind of brought in stuff that maybe you wouldn't see in a casino, but sure enough, there's enough people here in town that like these kinds of things.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of great shows. I mean, it's where I saw David Byrne. It's where I saw Jethro Tull. I mean, actually, Ian Anderson.
Yeah.
Also, Lon Bronson plays the cabaret all the time.
Yep.
And I love that. It's just a
I
fabulous.
saw Puddles there.
Did you?
Yeah.
In the big room?
Yeah. Not in the huge theater, sorry. In the Cabaret Jazz
Oh
room.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was with Howie or something.
No, just him.
Oh really?
Yeah, he did a solo show. That's what I mean. Like, that's the kind of thing that would not come through Vegas, and if it did,
And tell they're doing Shakespeare.
right?
Tell they did the Tempest at the.
They built the whole thing for him.
Yeah.
They shoved the whole big tent out on the
That
lawn
was
of that
great.
place.
And they are doing, this is violating a non-disclosure agreement, but I didn't sign it, only Telly did. Telly's bringing the Tempest back to Chicago.
He is.
Totally. Glenn is now flipping out.
I know. I was like, I literally just, I literally just got my phone out again. to come back.
Yeah.
That's exciting, though.
Yeah, but I can't talk about it.
No.
Can't even mention it. And we maybe do something else at the Smith Center. So you got anything else? You got anything coming up?
Yeah, I got a few more PIF dates coming up. I'm going to Orlando. If you go to piffthemagicdragon.com, I'm going to Orlando and Seattle in November. That's going on. Ice Cream Social. We just moved our digs. We're at the building right over here. We're at Show Creator Studios as well now. We moved over there.
Good.
Yeah. So we have a little studio over there on the other side of the building. And what else? I got
When is Scoop Fest?
Scoop Fest is in 2 weeks.
Woo!
2 weeks coming up. And we'll be doing that. This show will be over there we'll be doing
good.
Scoop Fest as well.
We should probably
Well, that's
announce our
good.
time being different.
Oh yeah. If you're a live listener, it'll be 2.5 hours later than normal.
Yeah. Okay. And Chinese dentist time.
Yeah.
And so I want to say thanks to Frank Luntz, who was wonderful to talk to and inspiring. Neil deGrasse Tyson for selling out the Smith Center. And once again, the Robin Leach, we miss you, celebration of life.
Yeah.
Okay. And you got some Piff the Magic Dragon gigs coming up.
Yeah. And plus, sorry. We announced the start of Abracababble, the subscription-only podcast.
I thought it was Abacagabbin.
Oh.
Abracagabbin, but no, it's Abracababble.
Abracababble. Or you go to patreon.com/Hillbill. It's a subscriber-only podcast. And we just talk very candidly about magic. As a matter of fact, the episode that's coming out on Tuesday, you hear me debate with Reddy about how my next Hillbill trick should be done.
Good.
And it's actually like a passionate debate.
Good.
Like we ruffle feathers.
What trick you working on?
It is a T-shirt cannon bullet catch.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was Penn Sunday School.
That was Penn Sunday School.
Cha-cha-cha.
And to our listening ears,
You become naked.
nature sang and round us rang the music of the spheres.
That was Penn Sunday School.
Penn Sunday School is okay, but you better it was Sean Connery. Harrison Ford.
Kevin Bacon.
That was Penn Sunday School.
Preaching love, preaching love.
Did you like?
Charlotte.
Did you like Titanic?
No.
That
I like-
was Penn Sunday School.
I liked one part of it a lot.
Me too. Same part. 2 parts.
That was why, if any girl wanted to go see Titanic again, that was worth going to see.
Sure.
Yeah.
I googled, did Penn's mother die 100 years ago? It brought up Madonna.